Vegeta and Kale need to interact more within the Tournament of Power in Dragon Ball Super. I say this for a couple of reasons. One, I think that Vegeta needs to be softened up more before the end of Z, because before Super, the Boo arc was the definitive closing to Vegeta's character arc, but then in 2004, the Kazanban ending changed that with Vegeta wanting to surpass Goku again, and it didn't really make sense or line up with Vegeta's character at all. Now you can argue that Vegeta's #1 speech was sort of just him admitting that Goku was #1, but he still wanted to surpass him anyway. I don't buy that. I think it was just kind of a fuck up on the on the writer's part for the Kazanban ending. I think it was just Toriyama wanting to leave it more open with Vegeta, but it just didn't really work. But anyway, this 2004 ending carried through to Dragon Ball Super with Vegeta wanting to surpass Goku and all of that kind of stuff. So we have that, subplot in Dragon Ball Super. Even though I don't like it, I think there's a way to rectify that, and that is through Kale. If Vegeta meets a more softer Saiyan, that doesn't like fighting or doesn't really want to fight and is very sort of passive, and then she's pushed to the edge, and becomes the Berserker Super Saiyan, as I like to call it, pretty much the female Broly thing, as I don't like to say, but I have to say because you know what I'm talking about. So she's pushed to the edge and becomes that version of the Super Saiyan. Vegeta notices this, and it's like, oh, there's Saiyans out there that aren't just all bloodthirsty and are very prideful. There's some that are just are basically just normal humans, but they're Saiyans and they just don't want to fight. And I mean basic human as in personality wise, I don't mean by any biological standpoint. But anyway, Kale and Vegeta need to interact, because then Vegeta would say oh, there's Saiyans that aren't all about the pride and stuff. Maybe I can adopt this into my own life. And then he starts to change into the character that we saw throughout the end of Z, where he didn't really focus on fighting that much at all, actually, and just wanted to spend time with his family, and became very much a family man. I want Kale to sort of be very, sort of be the push for Vegeta to have that change, and, I think Vegeta and Kale would be cool to interact with each other, because Goku and Cauliflower, or Khalifa, whatever you want to name her, she is very in line with Goku. She's very sort of fighting heavy, and I don't know, they're just in tune with each other. And that fight that they had, that little fight, was extremely entertaining. And even though, Goku's character doesn't really change much, I mean, he progresses throughout the series and he learns different morals and all that, and he does change somewhat. Especially in early Dragon Ball, but he doesn't really change his core values and beliefs and his goals. So, having said that, Goku is not going to change. So he's perfectly matched with Cauliflower, that never really changes as well. So Vegeta must change. Something must happen. Something must happen with these characters, and I think the way to go about it with Kale and Vegeta, I think that's how you do it. So yeah, I think that's how you do it. That's how I think you should get Vegeta to have a character arc and to progress to the end of Z Vegeta, even though before Super, I just assumed that Vegeta just stopped training, stopped trying to surpass Kakarot after the Bull arc, but I guess Dragon Ball Super retcons that whole concept, which still, Dragon Ball Super has regressed Vegeta's character, same with the 2004 Kazanban change, but as I said, I cannot change what has already been done, so let's just try to rectify this. And I think Vegeta and Kale, during the Tournament of Power, I think Kale is the one to change Vegeta. I really do mean this, because of a soft personality and all of that. So it's kind of like Bardock and Gine, how Bardock was kind of changed and influenced by Gine's sort of soft personality in Dragon Ball Minus. Now, I don't like referencing Dragon Ball Minus since I don't like it very much, and I think it's very sort of very rushed. It's a very rushed idea, but if Dragon Ball Super can take that core idea that they tried to establish in Dragon Ball Minus but failed, and applied it to Super, and weave it in this ongoing Tournament of Power narrative, I think that can really work. But that's just me. What do you think about Vegeta versus Kale? Do you think the fight should happen? Do you think there should be any sort of interaction between Vegeta and Kale? Let me know in the comment section down below. So yeah, that's gonna do it for me. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. See you later.